Why don't we start at the beginning then and tell us about how you ended up in Glasgow and when that was? And
Oh, well, um, my father went to sea with a sailor and he fell down the hold of the boat he was on, broke his neck, and he ended up in the Royal Infirmary. So we came over from Christendal to see him. When we stayed, he got better, and then he said he wasn't going back to sea, and he got a job in an engineering work, P&W McClellan Street, Kenning Park, and we stayed there, but we couldn't get a house to live in. So my mother heard of a wee shop which sold veg and fruit, and she applied to get it, and she did get the wee shop. And it had a big back shop. So we were able to live in the shop, back shop, holding on to the wee fruit shop. And that is how we ended up living in Carnoustie Street. We were there for years, and my mother had this wee shop going, and my father just stayed with engineering, and mother kept the shop going. And I was put to school here, much against my will, I was put there. And I got to like it. The first day in the wee shop, I was standing out the door, looking out, nothing to do. And a wee girl came over and she says to me, "Hey, you lassie, do you want a game?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Right, come on." And I shouted, "I've got a game to play here, Mum." And she went, "Away you go." That was my first. And I was there ever since in Carnoustie Street. And very happy. What really helped me along was every year I had 2 months home in Christendal. As soon as the school holidays started, I was sent over just to travel myself over in the boat and get the bus round, and I stayed for 2 months every year. So I think that is really why I was more Irish than Glaswegian.
how old were you when you came over?
9.
Wee lassie, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, have you got any other memory of growing up there?
Of growing up in Ireland.
Well, growing up in Ireland, aye.
Aye. Well, I actually loved it there. Very, very happy in it. Did not want to come here. In fact, I thought it was only a wee holiday, but they did me wrong and put me to school. I went to school in the Gorbals, Glasgow Gorbals, St. John's, and I quite liked it. No. I put up with it anyway. And eventually because they said to be shop and it all changed now. And as time went on, met boys and had the odd boyfriend and quite enjoyed my life. And I don't think I would change anything. In fact, I'm sure I wouldn't. I think the fact that I could get back every year for a couple of months made all the difference. But I did like Glasgow eventually. Felt it very friendly, warm people. And I liked it, and I got used to it. And I wouldn't change that.
I was talking to somebody in the Borders recently who said she had to come and live in Glasgow as a wee girl, and she was in tears. She was in tears, and then 40 years later she left Glasgow. She had to leave, and she was in tears
And
again.
Well, I knew that too. I had a wee shop for a while, years later, but also worked in a wee pub at the weekends, Friday and Saturday.
What pub?
The flyover, they called it, because it was at the flyover. And all the friends of Carol's and all that went to school, and they were all very, the father and mother were a hard-working couple. And it was all the gangs then, rebels and what else did you call them? Tiny rebels and all sorts. It wasn't a very safe place then. And I went to Holyrood School, which was different altogether. I met a lot of friends. In fact, some of the people I will meet tonight, I met when I came from Christendall, and I'm still friends with them.
Tell me about your life at Holyrood School.
Oh, it was good. I liked Holyrood. It was Mr. Graham was the headmaster, and we came from the Gorbals all over men of Holyrood, and we had a swimming bath, and one swimming bath, now I'm thinking of several, and teachers were good. I liked them, and all in all, I wouldn't change that either. I liked Holyrood.
And did you do okay at school?
I wasn't brilliant, but yes, I did okay.
And what about when you left school? Tell me a wee bit about that.
When I left school, I helped in the shop with my mother. And then I got a job in a wee sub-post office at Paisley Road Toll. And the woman who ran the post office, I was only in it about 3 weeks. She ended up getting the jail for embezzling. Embezzling money. And I was only there 2 weeks, and I'm standing waiting on her opening the shop, and I saw the tram going right round the corner into Galvin Road, and she never got off. And I thought, well, that's pretty strange, but didn't know any better, and I stood on. Then 2 big men arrived with their briefcases with GR on them. So I thought, oh my, this is something not too good here. So they came and they said to me, how long have you been here? Oh, 2 weeks. And one was a Mr. Campbell, and the other was a Mr. Abernethy. And they said to me, just you go home. And come back, you don't come back tomorrow, come back the next day and we'll have organised all the pensions to get changed to the Kingston Post Office. So I went over right, and that's what happened. And then I found out she had married a postman. He was a bit of a renegade. And it was him that got her in all the trouble. I believe she got 18 months in jail. That was my first job. So I got out of that and on a Copeland Road in the post office there. And that was okay. Quite like that. And the boss was he was an American, not really an American, but he had been born in Glasgow, but had lived in America most of his life, and now he was back. And he had the job of being a postmaster. And at that time we had rangers that were up the road, and they had Willie Waddle, I remember his name, Willie Waddle and several other Rangers players came up and came into the shop, got their papers and cigarettes and walked up the road. I was just thinking the other night, nowadays they're too big in their boots to do that. They wouldn't be seen walking up the road. But that's how they all did.
What about motherhood? Tell me about that.
Motherhood. Well, I had 5 children. And the eldest is Moira, who is a doctor, but she's also a homeopathy person. She does all that stuff. And she did acupuncture. She used to practice on me and her father, giving us jags, sticking a pin in. And we watched that. And Martha went to university. She's very clever, she still is. And then next was Peter, 19 months later. And he ended up in Australia, got married and went to Australia. Then there was Aileen, who is in Lanzarote and doing all this sort of stuff, interviewing people. And driving them all mental, I think. Monster radio, she said, well. And then, of course, her Carol there. and Jimmy, who's in Tipperary, and he seems to have enjoyed his life. He went to Australia for 6 years, and Jimmy and I went out, and I think we made him homesick, because he came home, and I'm glad he did, because he met a lovely girl who came from Cork. So now he's married in Tipperary with 3 children. So he's happy anyway.
And are you happy?
Very happy.
And reflecting back in your life, have you had a good life?
Yes, I have. I've had a very contented one.
There's not a lot of people that can say that, eh?
I believe it, but I have.
Let's take a wee break.
Barbie.
Okay, tell me a wee bit about the connection with Barry McGuigan.
Well, Barry McGuigan's father, Paddy, was Jimmy's full cousin, and they came from Clones, County Monaghan. They came over to work in Glasgow for a wee while, and they stayed with me in Argown Street. Paddy and his wife Kate, but they had a big family after that. And Barry was a wee champion, of course. Everybody talked about him. So they stayed with us, I think must have been about a year before they went back home to Clones. And probably that's when, I think Barry must have been the eldest to the family. Not sure about that. But they had quite a few children, and they lived in Clones, and they had a wee supermarket, and they'd done all the stuff there. But
And Uncle Paddy was a singer.
well, Paddy was a lovely singer, and he sang the Eurovision Song Contest. What did he sing now? Cliff Richard was on as well at that time. I think he sang Congratulations, and can't mind what Paddy sang.
As soon as I hear the name of the song, I'll remember the tune as well. And but Dad was a good singer as well.
Oh, aye, Jimmy was a very good singer.
And there was a bit of competition between the two of them,
Oh,
was there not?
aye.
In the singing stakes.
When we used to have a party, which was quite often, Jimmy sang, Martin Foley sang, Joe McCune sang, every one of them. One was better than the other, and they all were in competition with each other.
The song was A Chance of a Lifetime.
That is another
actually
from
sing.
Paddy sang, Chance of a Lifetime.
That's right.
Tell me a bit about living in the kind of in a global village with the whole world living round about you.
Well, I've found that everybody is very, very supportive of each other. and everything. My next door neighbour, Chinese, it's not well just now, pretty ill, but every day he comes to the door, sees it from one night. If I'm going out to get in a car, he comes and stands to see him getting in and who has picked me up. And if I'm down going into a car at all and you're any difficulty, somebody that doesn't know you will come along and go like that and come down and put you in the car and shut the door. Everyone is so kind and considerate. I don't think you could live in a better place. I have found everyone 100% good.
So can you keep in touch with all your family now through
Oh yeah.
with the phone, or do you use video or anything?
I speak to Jimmy nearly every night. Peter in Australia, it's a wee bit difficult time-wise and that, but still phone and we have quite a laugh. You remember stuff.
How do you keep alive every day? What keeps you going every day?
That'd be brandy.
I'll drink to that.
No, you just tell lies.
Nothing wrong with that.
You've also got very good friends, and you're out socialising a lot, aren't you?
Oh yes.
Tell me about your friends and what kind of socialising you do.
Well, I belong to a bowling club and I used to bowl nearly every day. I've not done that for a long time. But 2 days a week I go out to the club, sit out in the sun, watch them that are still bowling. And the girl I first met when I came here, I still see her. She picks me up, takes me there, takes me back.
What's her name?
Cuddicky. Margaret Cuddicky.
Good friend, eh?
And who else? Then another girl that picks the both of us up. She doesn't drink or smoke or anything. So she, like tonight, she'll come and take us both to the club and take us home about midnight.
Tonight.
And we'll spend a wee while there then. And it's always a lot of entertainment in it. And the odd little refreshment.
What's the name of the bowling club?
Moss Park.
Oh, Moss Park. It's nice, eh?
Oh, aye. Great people in it.
That's great. Do you like music?
Yeah.
What kind of music do you like?
I like popular stuff like Frank Sinatra and Perry Como and all these. But unfortunately, I wasn't given a gift of music. All the family can sing except me.
Well, you've got a gift if you can appreciate it.
Oh, I certainly appreciate it.
Do you remember you went to see Frank Sinatra
Oh yes,
at Ibrox.
we went to Ibrox when Sinatra was over and he appeared at the stadium. Jimmy was a very big fan of Frank, and Liam's father and mother and Carol and him and me and Jimmy went to see Sinatra, and we're sitting back and Sinatra was singing away and Jimmy had disappeared and he was singing New York, and I thought, there he is, he's away, he's going to miss it. And we turned around and he's coming down the steps, swinging a stick and singing New York. And Sinatra saw him and waved up to him.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, it was a great day.
You're also a big Tom Jones fan.
Oh, I
Love Tom.
I liked Tom. I liked to watch Tom. I think it was a Friday night he would be on. But I used to get them all in, get them crisps, lemonade, sweetened, to get them all sitting quiet so that I could watch them. I thought it was wonderful. So much so, I bought Jimmy a shirt that had a frill down the side, because Tom was shorter. And would Jimmy wear it? No, he wouldn't want it.
My dad was a slightly different shape from Tom Jones. Right?
He didn't appreciate him at all.
Do you know, if you were to give a message to each of your children to the camera today, what would it be? Because I think it'd be nice to get that on camera, on film. All your children, either together or individually.
Well, to keep together, to keep each other company, whether they're far away or not, and to be good to one another. And never forget anybody. Be good to everybody. Be kind.
What's your last message?
Hail, hail.